Okay, so I'm sitting here with Christy Meek, who is one of the women that my wife and I train. She took part in our Biggest Loser contest this year. And first thing I want to ask you, Christy, is what made you make this decision to do this program?
Well, actually, life just kind of took over to where I started losing myself as far as weight and health and fitness goes. I'm a mother of 3. I have a 10-year-old, 7-year-old, and a 6-year-old. My youngest daughter has autism.
Wow.
When she was diagnosed with autism, all my effort, everything went into helping her get the therapy and teaching that she needed to start developing. My husband was prior military, so we've lived many different places and had to move around because of her disability. Well, like I said, I put all my efforts into her and lost half of myself.
Sure.
I ended up gaining weight and eating very unhealthy because I was always on the go.
Sure.
So this program came at a perfect time in my life to where I was like, hey, I need to do something about myself. If I did something about myself, I can probably be a better mother, better in shape, physically, fitness-wise, to keep up with my 3 children.
Exactly.
So, like I said, this came at a perfect time. I feel wonderful now. I'm able to keep up with the daily life of my children, my husband, getting everything done. I have more energy and I feel great.
And your husband's probably a lot of work, huh? Because that's what my wife tells me. So, you know,
it's always a lot of work.
And one thing that we noticed, Christy, and I know that the audience can't see me, but you know, we trained probably over the last 3 months over 40 women, and one thing that we noticed with a lot of women especially, and that's why we have such a great deal of respect for mothers, is you guys have a lot of work to do, you know, from taking care of the family, the kids, the job, everything else, that sometimes you forget that the most important person is you, because if you're not healthy and strong, it's hard to take care of everybody else. So what was you know, the biggest thing that you really enjoyed about these last 3 months and really getting committed and following the program that we put together for you, you know, from that aspect?
Well, I love the fact I have a lot of motivation.
Great.
And then it takes dedication.
Sure.
And it was just to totally dedicate myself, educate myself from you and Rachel, which has been a total godsend. My husband's super supportive, my family. It's having that all to back you up, then coming and working out as hard as you can, and continuing with the diet, and everything just kind of falls into place as long as you keep your schedule in front of you.
Sure. Me, not the camera. Okay. You know, Christy, the next thing I would ask you is how, you know, what major, you know, changes did you have to make, okay, you know, during this process at home? You know, what was the biggest thing? Was it the food? You know, I know that, you know, we put together the nutrition program for you, and we try to make it as simple as possible. You're not going to have to do this for the rest of your life as far as eating is clean, but we do try to make it as simple to where we want to set you up for success. Did that make it a little bit easier for you to, you know, to get focused?
It did. The diet obviously worked perfectly. It was a hard change.
Sure.
Like I said from before, I was constantly eating fast food, whatever it took just to get something in my stomach.
Because you're busy.
On the go.
Sure.
Yeah. So having this totally mapped out for me was perfect.
It seems like you almost just kind of changed your habits a little bit.
Yes.
Instead of running through McDonald's and grabbing that quick cheeseburger, you had a small protein shake or something that, you know, could be convenient.
Absolutely. And it's a lot more convenient than I thought it would be.
Sure. And your body changes pretty fast when you get committed, right?
Yes. A lot of commitment and dedication.
Awesome.
So, yeah, I just had it on my fridge, the menu plan, and I just kept checking it off. Each meal goes by, and it worked out great.
Fantastic. Well, we don't have too much time. I guess the last thing that I would ask you is, and probably the most important thing, is what would you tell, you know, all the other mothers out there and women who are kind of watching this video right now and thinking to themselves, you know, I sure would like to make this change, but they have that fear of whether they think they can do it or not. What would you say to all of them, being an inspiration yourself to these women and these mothers, Christy?
That you can do it. With all the things going on in our life, I thought I could never do it with having an autistic child, being in the military, moving from one place to another constantly. You have to convince yourself that you can do it. Find yourself a trainer. Kurt and Rachel are fantastic. They will get you on a nutrition plan, exercise plan. Do what you can, make the time, because you really do have the time, and you will feel better about yourself in the long run and have more energy as well.
Definitely. And Christy, you have been able to, we'll end off on this, you have went from 184 to, you weighed in today at 150.